Aztech Forgotten Gods has some pretty ambitious gameplay mechanics that's wrapped around some interesting real-life inspiration and lore. But does this futuristic Aztec setting work, or is the game just not polished enough to show off its true potential? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mabimpressions. Today I want to talk about Aztech Forgotten Gods. This game is a 3D platformer, RPG action adventure game with some elements of open world and boss rush battling. As usual, the video will be broken down in 3 sections. First, the general overview. Second, my opinion. Did I like it or not? What are the pros and cons? And finally, third, an uncut section of gameplay so you can see it in action. Let's get started. Aztech Forgotten Gods was developed and published by Lienzo. I want to thank them for the review copy, however all thoughts will be my own. It was released on March 10th and is going for $30 US. It's currently available on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo consoles. I played the Steam PC version. The footage you're seeing today was taken from my Aztech Forgotten Gods playthrough. If you're interested, there's links in the description to my Let's Play channel and Twitch where we live streamed it all. I appreciate it very much. Okay, so beginning with the story and setting, it takes place in an alternate reality far in the future in a Mesoamerican metropolis. You play as, and I'm gonna get this name wrong, Achtli, a young woman who, with the help of her mother and friends, obtains an ancient artifact that attaches to her arm. It grants her massive powers and abilities, but at the same time, forgotten gods and other evils are released, and it's up to you to defeat them, seal their powers, and save the world. So, in this game, you're primarily going to be flying through semi-open world map using your powers, doing challenges like races and fighting waves of enemies, and giant boss battles, which are definitely the highlight of the game. You're just a regular human, but after obtaining the arm extension, you can now jetpack, fly at high speeds, and unleash massive damage in the form of punches and other charged attacks. During the downtime between these large story events, you can free roam and seek out challenges. These are sometimes races and flying tasks, kind of like Superman 64 where you fly through a lot of rings and enemy wave battles. If you manage to beat them, you'll get different types of currencies. These are used in shops to get new cosmetics like hair, costumes, as well as permanent upgrades to your powers. Things like more health, more charge damage, and stuff like that. The giant boss battles are where the main focus of the game lies. Through story events, you'll travel through to different areas and take on these massive enemies. Your goal is to take down their life bar and stop the rampage. These play out in different ways depending on the boss, but you're pretty much just trying to figure out the gimmick in order to deal damage, all while flying around at high speeds and avoid getting hit yourself. Let's move on to the presentation. The game has an indie look that reminds me of Dreamcast and PlayStation 2 era games. The main characters have decent models, but there are a lot of random citizens that are primarily copy and paste. The environments are futuristic with an Aztec inspiration look to it. The game's soundtrack sometimes has some rock music during combats. There are no voices, but rather small grunts here and there when they're talking and fighting. Sound effects are decent, nothing too crazy stood out with that. So how about the good and bad, pros and cons, likes and dislikes? Okay, so first of all, I'll say this. It's obviously very indie in terms of look and feel. I appreciate what they were going for, and honestly, I feel like with more time and experience, this game loop of open world traversal, optional challenges, and giant bosses would have been nothing short of amazing. Unfortunately, I think there's just too much getting in the way for me to fully enjoy the game as it stands right now. And also remember, this is not early access, this is done. It's a version 1.0 launch. Flying around in this game and maneuvering around environments is decent. I really did not like the combat. Later on, you get more ways to attack, but for a long time, you're just doing QTE timed button presses and watching your character do the same thing over and over again. If they went all in with just movement puzzles to take down enemies and bosses instead of sort of this faux combat, at least that's what it felt to me, it would have shined way more. I mentioned the graphics looked very retro, and that's not a bad thing. I'm just a little disappointed in how empty the world was and how low textures things seemed. The bosses do look pretty good. The game has no voiceovers, but wow, it has a lot of dialogue. It's never a bad thing, but when dialogue is here in this abundance without any substance, it just kind of eats your time and makes you want to skip things. There's a lot of interactions in this game where you're reading and mashing through dialogue, where a lot of lines could have easily been cut out, and the pacing would have drastically improved without losing any information. I think this is definitely my biggest gripe with the game. The highlight of the game, and the best reason to try it out, is the massive boss battles. It's just unfortunate everything in between is a little subpar in my opinion. I really wouldn't have minded if this was just nothing but a boss rush with stages and skill upgrade choices between. I think it would have been better that way. So overall, Aztech Forgotten Gods is a fun little indie game with some very obvious flaws. It's a tough recommendation for the full price of $30. I would say pick it up on a sale if you get the chance, just to help these guys out, right? Go devs, go indie devs. So, if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, it helps a lot. And if you haven't already, subscribe for daily videos. Check out the full playthrough on my Let's Play channel and follow me on Twitch and join my Discord. All links are in the description. I'll be leaving you with some gameplay of me fighting the first giant boss you get to. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Nice Dutch angles. Alright. Okay, here we are. Hey, look, he's got a health bar. What do I do? Am I supposed to manual hit this time? Maybe I'm supposed to manually hit. Let's see. Aim for the gaps. Aim for the gaps. Now this is more like it. Much better. Yes. Ooh. And it took 45 minutes to get to this stuff, huh? And here you go. They really should have just made this a sort of boss rush game. There's so much extra crap, dude. I don't care. I just didn't care. But this is like decent, you know? This is decent stuff. I wish it was more skill for the combat though. All I'm doing is like the most skillful stuff in the game is the what's it called? The movement. But what am I doing? I'm just auto hitting and pressing the X button. You know, that's kind of lame. I'm not even aiming at it. I just look in a general direction and press the X button. I'm playing on normal. What's it doing? Do I gotta go after it or what? Maybe I gotta hit it? Yeah! Cool. Oh god! Oh jeez! Come on, man! Whoop! Oh jeez! Oh! Whoa! Calm down, man. Wow, that's cool. Okay, now it's starting to get crazy. I think we beat him. Oh, what's that? Oh, freaking another QTE. Okay, so yeah, that's the game. That's the most enjoyment I had in the hour we played so far. I wish the whole game was like that.